The biggest and most important bit that happened on the 12th of December was that all parties agreed that a case management justice needs to be appointed.
December 12th was the latest court appearance for Alex, Marco, and George, three Albertans who can now each face a decade behind bars because of their alleged involvement in the Coutts blockade. Today we got an update from one of their lawyers at Williamson Law, Chad Williamson, to give us the latest. The Coutts blockade took place alongside countless demonstrations across Canada during the same timeframe as the Freedom Convoy to Ottawa, the Ambassador Bridge blockade, the Surrey, BC blockade, the Emerson blockade. They were happening across the country. And in terms of the Coutts blockade, they decidedly ended their own demonstration to unequivocally express itself as a peaceful movement.
We as the Coutts convoy have decided that as a peaceful protest and to maintain that narrative, we will be rolling out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
These charges were revealed on September 16th and imposed a court date of October 4th. When October 4th arrived, the case was adjourned until November 4th. And on November 4th, we were informed by lawyer Chad Williamson,
once disclosure has been properly received, we'll proceed to trial by jury immediately. There will be no deals and no concessions of any kind.
The team at Williamson Law is fighting day and night to make sure these guys get the justice they deserve. And these lawyers are top-notch, which is exactly what Alex, Marco, and George need. And these lawyers are doing all this at no cost to any of them or their families. You, our generous donors, are helping us at Rebel News crowdfund their legal defense so they don't have to, all through truckerdefensefund.ca. This is a pricey legal defense, so any support you can provide would be very beneficial. So November 4th, we found out disclosures were pending and a trial by jury was expected. The next court appearance was December 12th. That just passed, and again, things have been delayed until next year, January 9th. We caught up with Chad to see what the reasoning was behind the seemingly consistent delays these men are dealing with in the courts, and to get an update on where things stand now.
As everybody knows, the Coutts 3 were again down in the Court of King's Bench in Lethbridge to appear on December 12th for more procedural wrangling. There have been a number of delays in this case. One of the delays caused by the Crown in failing to deliver to counsel for the accused the disclosure, which is the evidence against them, which we've been asking for quite some time. Now, they represented to the court that that was available. We actually sent couriers down to specialized prosecutions in Calgary, where it was my understanding some of the disclosure was. And we were told that it still wasn't available. So we believe that these delays will run against the Crown in this case. Now, why weren't these folks charged under the Critical Infrastructure Act? We're not too sure. To my knowledge, the only person that has been charged with an offense under that piece of legislation is Mr. Archer Pavlovsky. And frankly, I don't know how well that has worked out for the Crown. I suppose time will tell. Mischief over 5,000 is a completely different charge that perhaps the Crown in this case thinks that it can more easily make stick against the accused, who are obviously presumed innocent until the Crown does their homework and, of course, meets the burden of proof, which is beyond all reasonable doubt that these folks are guilty of the crime with which they've been charged. We've got another court date set for January. There will be more procedural wrangling there. What has essentially happened is the Crown has indicated that they are going to make a whole bunch of pre-trial applications, which are procedural applications to determine how the rest of the litigation in this matter is going to play out. Usually people do this to try to get remedies in their favor, whether it's the Crown or the defense. They try to set procedural tones that might give them an advantage. So the Crown has indicated that they might want to make a change of venue application, and also that there could be another type of application called a challenge for cause, which I won't get into the technical details of right now, but we will have more information in January. The biggest and most important bit that happened on the 12th of December December was that all parties agreed that a case management justice needs to be appointed. Now, the role of a case management justice is just to ensure that the procedural litigation flows in a healthy way and in a timely way as we move towards an inevitable trial. So it's my expectation that a case management justice will be appointed in fairly short order. We're still waiting to hear on that. And of course, we're heading into the Christmas holiday, so it's very unlikely that much will happen between now and January 9th. But we will keep everybody posted with details as we're able to, with the permission of our clients, and given the circumstances of what's to come in the new year.
RCMP say Alex, Marco, and George are key participants, not organizers, not violent, not extreme, just key in some way to a movement so peaceful and decentralized that it became international and changed the political landscape well into the future. And these three guys could face 10 years in prison, each, separated from their families, their children, their wives and grandchildren. And if you think there's something wrong about that, and you want to help Alex, Marco, and George with everything they need to maintain a strong legal defense, I encourage you to go to truckerdefensefund.ca. For Rebel News, Sydney Fizzard. Aside from donating to their legal defense through truckerdefensefund.ca, at no cost to you, we have a petition you can sign calling on Premier Danielle Smith to provide some kind of amnesty for this political prosecution. Let's get that number up there, and I'll make sure to hand this off to her face-to-face to make sure she knows how important this situation is for the future of Alberta. And as well, we also have an email link where you can send her one directly to tell her just how important this really is. I encourage you to go to truckerdefensefund.ca.